want to just check in with a few people to see how they managed this weekend, really. Do you have any problems this weekend? Or what we talk about is relapse prevention, really. And the 4 elements to it: psychological, biological, social and spiritual. Let's somebody joins first. What is spiritual? Spiritual. Alcoholism. Hi all. Hello. I'm just going to talk about relapse prevention. Right. Has anybody had any problems this weekend? Because it's been a very warm weekend, isn't it? I've no doubt a few people will have relapsed, or thought about it anyway, at least. I mean, it's a bad time when it's hot, isn't it? It's a bad time when it's cold as well for alcoholics. Let me know your thoughts. Basically, with relapse, to prevent relapse, it's not just a question of staying off the drink, it's a question of, I saw something the other day, there's about 4 key elements to it. Hi Mark. To prevent relapse, 4 key elements to them. It's psychological element, a social element, a biological element, and a spiritual element. The spiritual one. Hi Tony. I do all off the top of it now. Do you remember Live Aid 40 years ago? I do. I was pissed in a caravan in Durham. With my ex-wife. But she wasn't drunk. I had loads of the pants at a caravan in Durham City. Well, just outside Durham City. Live Aid, yeah, a long time ago. Bob Geldof and all that, Karen. What a nightmare that was. So has everyone had a good weekend? I hope everyone can hear me and see me. I'm not going too long, because it's Sunday night. I'm conscious of people having to go to work tomorrow. Thankfully, I don't have to go to work. I'm doing this, which is work to me. And I'm trying to help people. That takes up a lot of my time. So yeah, relapse. Has anybody had a problem with relapse? Like a serious relapse, i.e. after a long period they've gone back on the booze? You know, because I had the longest period I was off for was 8 years. And I drank again, not because of a craving. Roger Whittaker had that song, Durham Town. Yeah, was I? Oh, Durham Town. You're showing your age, Lenny. You're really showing your age. So who's relapsed recently? Anybody? Put their hands up. Remember, it's non-judgmental here. I'll tell you if I had a drink. In fact, I wouldn't be here, would I? I had a few upstairs, Mark. Right, okay, what was the longest period of sobriety? That's important to realise why you went back on, especially after a long time. Because this thing about this, hello Tony, this psychological effect, the biological effect, the social effect, and the spiritual effect, it's quite important. If you can get those 4 things in tune, then you may not relapse. If you can prevent relapse, that's a massive, massive thing, isn't it? Thanks to everybody who's joining. Thanks to everybody who joined last night. Thanks to all the super chats that came in, donations, because that helps me to carry this on. And I put a lot of hours in. You know, we've got to buy equipment and that sort of thing, and it makes a big difference to get a donation to keep it going. And I'm going to try and build it up as big as I can, help people. The more of us that are on here, the more we support each other. Because there's some very good people on here. There's all sorts of skilled people here. But relapse to me was the worst thing that ever happened. Because you think you're going to get well again. You sort of get well again. And you feel good. And then suddenly you have one. And I'm not saying I would be in the pub all night if I had one. But a week later, I'd be in a bit of a mess. You know? That's the problem, isn't it? With relapse. So if you can get these key elements, well, the abstinence is the first one. You have to be off the booze. Hi all. Born Idol the Third. It's a good title. Hello James, how are you? I'm just talking about relapse here. Who's relapsed? Who's had a long period? Mark, I still miss drinking in the pub and watching a band. Well, yeah, you can still watch a band. I know what you mean. It's not the same as it when you're sober. You don't feel the same sort of relaxed vibe and dancing and all that. you feel a bit out of place, don't you? That's why your habits have got to change when you stop drinking. You can't have the same habits. You know, there's a lot of things got to change. I'm just having a look at some of the subjects here when I'm doing this. Thanks, Pete, for the donation. I appreciate that. And to David as well for last night. Excellent that was. The longest period I did was 8 years, as I said, and I drank because I met somebody that I didn't want to tell them. I was ashamed to tell people that I was an alcoholic. And that's a big problem. There's still this stigma, even with the doctors, you know. You know, if you've got something wrong, you went to the doctors now, a really bad leg. It's all swollen, it's like, you know, it's been cut, it's got pus in it, it's really bad, see the bone, whatever. You just tell the doctors everything, wouldn't you, about what happened. What's happened? Well, I fell in the piece of glass last month, I didn't come to the doctors. You tell them everything. When you've got an alcohol problem, you tend to keep away from the doctors. You don't want to tell people, do you? No, well, I know a GP, well, no, 2 GPs retired now. They're both friends of mine. And they always say people never tell you the truth. You always feel guilt and shame after every drink. Yeah, you will. Both these doctors tell me that people never tell them the truth about their alcohol consumption. I tell them also, if you're bleeding from your nose, from any orifice, from if anywhere I've been for your foot, your leg, you would tell the doctor, I've got a pain in my stomach, I've got a pain in my back. The amount of time wasters that go to A&E with strained eyebrows and flu is incredible. Hi Dave, thanks Dee. That's very welcome of you. And nice to see you again. Enjoyed the chat. Oh, just talking about the relapse scenario, how to prevent relapse, and I think there's 4 key elements. Looks like I felt like a cat and losing one of my lives. Well, you would, yeah. That's the problem, you relapse. Thanks again for that donation, very well appreciated, thank you. The relapse prevention, there's 4 key elements to it. I'll go through it again for people who just joined. There's the psychological side, the biological side, social side, and spiritual side. The spiritual side is more about relaxing. Spiritualization, spiritual side isn't one of my areas of expertise, I have to say, but the psychological one is, because you can feel terrible when you've had a relapse. So you've got to get your mindset right when you're off the booze. You know, you've got to be positive, and you've got to think, well, this is a new life. You know, you've got to readjust, you've got to balance yourself. How you doing, poor man, Jim? You've got to rebalance things, and you've got to realise that it's a different type of life now. You're not just going to bounce back. So the first thing, obviously, you've got to abstain from alcohol. Psychological side, you've got to get your mind right. And the biological side comes into looking after your body, really, isn't it? Because your body and mind work in unison. Then you start looking at your general health, your diet, the exercise, you know, and how you interact with people as well. And a lot of people who I've spoken to who've got sober, eventually, you lose, your personal care goes down the drain, doesn't it? You lose focus. You don't care what you look like. You don't even care what you feel like, because your body's ravished with alcohol, and you just want to get through the day without any major complications, you know. So you've got the psychological side, your mind, and your biological side. The social side, you've got to try and maybe keep away from people who are going to trigger you again, old mates and stuff who you go on the drink. Some of the pissed up specimens you see in the hot weekend, yeah. Relapsed a couple of times, much better now. Okay, Tom, that's good. And how long did it take you to get back on the sober trail, as it were? Because a lot of people can relapse and they never get back sober. It took me 5 years to get back sober. That was only because of serious illness and hospitalisation, you know. I love the escape from reality. Yeah, but the boredom, you're saying there, boredom, PMC, the boredom, it's much more boring being in hospital, being told you're dying, than it is going for a walk and having a Coke or something, you know, a glass of water or something. That's much better than lying in hospital with an distended stomach, getting drained every 4 hours, you know, with liver failure. And the fact that you might pass away at any point, you've got to think about it. The food's not good, tell you no, but what you can do is get good food when you're out. I'm a 20-year-old uni student offering for 2 months. That's good. Probably that's the time you want to do it, when you're 20, which I done when I was 20. It made a big difference to my life. If anybody's younger on here, it doesn't matter how old you are, you've just got to get off it, as simple as that, you know. Tom, a couple of years and probably 6 months. Can't believe it was that long. The boredom is immense when I don't drink. Mark, you have to find something else to do. something healthy, read a book, do some studying, get yourself a qualification. One to throw Weatherspoons 11 a.m, that's enough to keep you off. That's true, Jeremy, yeah, I agree. Any Weatherspoons in the morning, you'll think, do I want to end up like those people, you know, with the mobility scores outside? Probably smoking outside as well, all this sort of thing. I appreciate the channel, helped me with relapses past year. Great, well, thanks. All my problems go away when I drink. See, I'm going through the worst withdrawals in this weather. Okay, Dylan, drop me a line. There's a number in the description, part of every video, and I'll get back to you at some point. I said, if you benefit from the channel, please look at the super chats and let's keep the channel going strongly, as strong as we can. I just said I don't want to be on all night tonight. I know people at work tomorrow, Sunday night. Like I said, I don't have to be, and I'll be here for your comments and stuff. I can't hack it. It feels like a seizure. Dylan, you might have to get some medical advice on that one. I don't know if you've been to doctors or not, because if you're totally addicted to it like I was, I didn't realise how bad I was and I had seizures. You have to get some expert advice on that, I think. So these elements of, each element of keeping sober, basically, not relapsing. If you get your psychological side right, your mind right, basically, then your body right. The social side, try to keep out of boozers too much. Try not to associate with people who trigger you into boozing, or maybe buy you a pint. All you need is for somebody to say there's a pint, and you think, oh, shall I just have one? That was always my problem, so just have one. But we know we can't have one. And then the spiritual side, maybe a bit of meditation, just take it easy, try and relax. You know, that sort of kind of. There's a lot of elements to this, and you have to get your head around the fact you can't drink again. And it's a terrible thing when somebody says you're not going to drink again for the rest of your life. Because if it's been a big part of your life, then you think, what am I going to do in my life? How am I going to socialise? How am I going to meet people? You know, because it's everywhere, isn't it? Every sporting event, every street corner, you can get it from garages now, can't you? Good evening, the Dump, I think it's called Dump. You can get it all over the place. It's so available, isn't it? You know, it's like having to score drugs. It's much easier to get a drink. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? So we're going to do a little one here. Day 1 to year 1 sober. Day 1 for me was hospitalisation. And I was in hospital for the best part of 2 years. PM said, I'm going to the shop for more. Yeah, Derek, I see I'm 39 from I had 12 beers and a bottle of wine today. I want to stop. Drop me a line. There's a link in the description. Yeah? Get in touch with me. I'll help you get off it. I'll do my best. So day 1 to year 1 sober is a long time. A long time. 1 day off is a long time if you're used to drinking. Even if you're not alcoholic or you're not dependent, just having a day off it is a long time when you've been used to having a beer or two. And you got your mates texting you or whatever, or your wife wants to drink, or your partner wants to go for a drink, or your kids want to go for a drink, or you go for Sunday lunch, and people in the pub having a drink. There's all these things triggering even day 1. But you've got to get from day 1 to day 2. You've got to break it down. As Russell Brand said, don't think of it as you've got to stop forever. Think of it as I didn't have a drink today, I'm not going to have a drink tomorrow. Break it down to small sections. That's the way you've got to do it. And then once you get the first year over, you'll get the second year over. Before and after, right, this is a good one. Before and after, my face and body after quitting alcohol. Well, I was a terrible, terrible state. GX. I suffer from nerves and I drink, stop panicking. Yeah, I always had panic attacks, but drinking makes panic attacks worse. So, before and after, I was very drawn in the face, lost a lot of weight, become malnourished. And after I quit alcohol, I got a bit of a glow back. It took a few years, man. It wasn't overnight. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Hello, whiskey. Hello there. So your appearance will change. Your body will change. Your food will be better. You'll feel hungry again. I didn't feel hungry when I used to drink. Never felt very hungry. It was terrible. Had no energy either, because you're losing muscle all the time, especially from the legs. The legs are the biggest muscle group, aren't they? What happens when the body? Well, the body will repair after drinking. These are just questions people ask me. Now, this is a big one for me. Alcohol and anxiety. Who suffers from anxiety? I would bet most of you have. because we drink to take away social anxiety, and eventually, good call, Derek. Thanks for the super chats, all of you that have come in this week. It's been really beneficial. If you want to donate and help the channel out, support the work I'm doing, then please hit the super chats button, just with a small amount, anything you like. Anxiety was the reason I started drinking. Yeah, that's the problem. I was just to talk about that, Mark. I started drinking through anxiety, but the anxiety got worse, and the anxiety took over my life. And then the alcohol was the only way I could keep the anxiety at bay, but it caught up with itself. It just increased as time went on. The more I drank, the more anxious I got. And I always thought tomorrow was going to be a better day, and it wasn't. That's the problem, you know. But anxiety's a killer. I'm drinking during work now as well. That's 32. GX, you must get off this booze. Send me a link. Send me a message in the link. I thought the same, then started drinking. Yeah. Anxiety was my main problem, Dave. Yeah. PTSD, similar to me with the job I had. It's a vicious cycle. That's the problem. And we've got to, if you can get the anxiety under control, then you can start to look at getting the drinking under control. If you're anxious all the time, you want more beer, you want more stock, and you're constantly looking for the next fix. That's the issue, isn't it? I would say anxiety was definitely my main. It was the first symptom I had. Was severe anxiety. Hello, Paul. Caused by chemical imbalance in the brain from the excessive alcohol. Yeah, it does. It fucks your brain up, basically, doesn't it? Well, you know, being too clever with words, it fucks your brain up. It fucks your body up. It fucks your life up. You know what I mean? It's a very it's a sure way to become ill and a sure way to kill you early. Simple as that. Social anxiety was a big one. Still is. Just could cope without alcohol. Well, that's very true. Same as me. We're all very similar people here, you know. We're overthinkers, pretty caring people, and that's how we're getting into a mess. Because we worry too much about things, worry too much about other people. And what you've got to do here, you've got to look after yourself. But the anxiety will not go away with alcohol, it'll increase. And then the anxiety wasn't the problem, really. The drink becomes a problem, doesn't it, in the end? And then it increases the anxiety. And you can't get away from it. Okay. If you can get off, your sleep will help. Your sleep will improve. That's another thing. You know, your sleep will, just even cutting down your sleep better. Drink makes me more comfortable in my own skin. I don't even enjoy it half the time. No, when you get to the point of not enjoying a drink, that's the time to seek some help and put the brakes on, isn't it? You know? Yeah, trying to get some more sleep, trying to get healthy again. There's all these different subjects coming up. The main one appears to be anxiety, that I can pinpoint as being the troublesome one. And that really needs to be dealt with by, well, experts really as well. Because you can't live with this anxiety, because you'll just self-medicate. That's what I did 5 years and it nearly killed me. If you can't get some medication, you've got to at least look at cutting down. That's a start, isn't it? It's better than nothing. Handling cravings. I didn't have cravings when I stopped, you know. I had emotional problems. Not emotional problems. I used to meet somebody, I think, I better have a drink. I'm a bit of a people pleaser. A lot of us are. I didn't have the strength to say, I've got a drink problem. Now I do. I told my partner of 2 years, this one's a matter. I couldn't face going through all that again. When I went through 2014. And relationship finished quickly anyway in 2014. And I didn't tell the person I was with that I was an alcoholic. I just had one, and then lo and behold, 7 days later I was drinking from, you know, the neck of a beer bottle in the shower block in Saint-Tropez on holiday. I had this big camper van thing. I could only drive it, you know. It was panic attacks, sweating. I couldn't drive on the motorways. I used to think, God, I can't drive on the straight road. I can't get off it, you know. Alcohol and depression. There's lots of questions come in the last couple of days. Yes, it makes you depressed. It made me very depressed for lots of reasons. And I think one of the main ones was I lost my confidence. It's hard to socialise now. Well, it is, I agree, you've got to change your life. Can't imagine telling anyone I have an alcohol problem. But Mark, don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed, because it'll kill you. These people who you think you're going to be embarrassed with, they'll move on in life. They'll leave you stranded at the bottom of a bottle again, you know. It's easier for me to say now, because I've been sober for a while. And I'm older and more confident. I've done a lot of things in my life. If you're young, it's very difficult, a bit nervous, you don't want to tell people. Because you think it's terrible, it's a stigma, isn't it? there's still a stigma to it with doctors as well. I'm sure that people don't like telling the doctor how much they have to drink. So depression will kick in. That's another thing that comes in, and it's really, really bad when this depression kicks in. That's tied up with anxiety as well, and so it's just problem after problem after problem after problem after problem. And I'm not saying you don't have problems when you are sober, but you can deal with them. You know, that's the thing. You can deal with the problems, isn't it? You can't deal with anything when you've got this terrible anxiety, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Another one here: does alcohol really help you sleep? No, it doesn't. You think it does because it relaxes you. And funny enough, that's the only thing I miss about alcohol. It's the fact it used to relax me enough that I would just drop off to sleep. Freddie, I've quit because I had a few scares. Struggling to go to deal with that. Yeah. Well, at least you've quit. That's good, Freddie. Well done. Everybody who's quit, congratulations, Mark. You already did it. How do you feel the timing now? Mark, I'll do this. I'll keep myself fit. I've got a busy partner. I've got a daughter in Manchester. I'm interested in current affairs. I cook a lot. I said keep myself fit and look after myself, really. Try and relax a bit. Try and relax without alcohol. It's amazing how quick the day will come round. You know, I don't have to get up early. That's a good thing. I'm not saying I sleep in bed all day. I don't. I'll probably get up sometimes 7 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock, sometimes 9 o'clock. But I've got this horrendous alarm going, beep, beep, beep. That's a big thing. You can learn to slow down a bit, you know. So there's no boredom. If you add up the amount of time, the amount of hours that you do, planning to go for drinking and recovering, then there's a lot of time. Go for a bike ride. Start a new hobby up. That's the sort of thing you can do. As I've said before, it's easy to make you say this because I'm there, you know. And because you sleep better, you look after yourself better. You take your time having a shower, a bath, have a bit of toast, a cup of coffee. Just take your time at weekends. You're not rushing. See, weekends when you're a drinker, your days off, whenever they are, you spend all that time recovering, don't you? That's not good. Again, thank you for the donation to come in. Hit the super chats button if you want to help this channel out and get it stronger. It all makes a difference. We'll still be here in 10 years' time, hopefully, but we'll not have a relapse. How you sleep? Sleep improvements, yeah. Your sleep is much different, gives you more energy. Drinking and going to gigs has always been a big thing for me. It was, yeah, of course it is, Mark. That's why it's a change of life, isn't it? It's a total change of life. Now, this is a good question. I'm going to be able to listen to this tomorrow. Stop. Okay, Russell, if you need any help, get in touch. There's a link in all the videos with a number on it. The difference between habit and addiction, this is a good one. Yeah, GX only ever had lager and Guinness. I did try wine, spirits, but I'm a volume drinker. I like the pint, and I couldn't have a pint of wine. Obviously, I didn't like the taste of wine. I used to like lagers and refreshing long drinks, you know. And that's where I drink non-alcoholic drinks from time to time. Yeah, the difference between habit and addiction. When you do use it in escape, yes, Russell. What's the difference between habit and addiction? The habit is when you get a bad head and you don't feel particularly well the next day. Addiction is when you slip from hangover to withdrawal. Right? That's a massive point. That's the time that people become alcoholics or have an alcohol use disorder issue. When your hangovers become so severe, you have withdrawal. There's a massive difference between hangover and withdrawal. There's withdrawals when you're shaking, you can't focus, you have sweats, you have panic attacks. That's withdrawal. And that's when you need to put the brakes on it completely and say, no, I'm not having any more. Because a lot of people say they're not addicted. I know people who are addicted who say they just got a habit. But in the pub every day. I can tell they've got problems just by looking at them because they've got weight loss and all sorts of different issues. Okay, another one here. Why just one is hard for some people? Because we can't have one. We can't have one. Because it'll take us back to... thank you very much, Don. 10 years, fantastic. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Really good. Let me carry on helping people and keep pushing for more subscribers, more expertise on here, and some more literature to help you. I'll just try and get some newsletters out or something, and we'll just download them. We'll get downloadable ones, you know. Yeah. So the habit versus addiction is very important. My wife never stops me the crap. Well, yeah. Everyone has domestic problems. Again, thank you, Dylan, for that. Appreciate that. Please get some help or get in touch with me. The number's in the description and I'll speak to you. Can't have one, no. Okay, right now. That's great. So yeah, habit versus addiction. You know when your habit changes to an addiction because you're going to feel terrible. Yeah, it'll get much worse, and it'll become chronic. Basically, you'll not be able to turn it back. You can't go from addiction back to habit because that means you're going to be socially drinking. Once you've passed the addiction stage, once you're into this addiction stage, then you can't drink socially. It's as simple as that. Right, another one here. There's been a lot of questions coming. Managing social pressure. Now, this was a big one for me. As I said, I wasn't able to tell people I had an alcohol problem because thank you, Mark. Really appreciate that. Another donation there. Really well done. Thank you, Mark. It all helps to keep the channel buzzing, and it's really buzzing at the moment. We've got a lot of good people on here, and we're getting a few regulars as well. But it's only been doing a few days, and it's really good. What was I here? Yeah. So just look at the whole structure of drinking, how it affects you, and there's so many different parts to it, isn't there? You know, it's just like, how many elements are there? How many questions do people have? You know, it's absolutely incredible. How many sort of people have got problems with it? In all walks of life, you know, all levels of society, all ages as well. I spoke to a guy the other day. He was only 24. He was drinking a bottle of vodka a day. So a bottle of whiskey. You know. It was really bad, you know, it's really bad. So another thing we look at here, when you're recovering, is to try and get maybe some little walks done. Maybe meditation's a good one, apparently. Not that I've ever been able to do that, mind. Walks in nature, if you can do that. It all sounds very ideal, isn't it? And very lovely and mamby-pamby and all that sort of thing. It's not that easy when you live in the city centre, is it? Another one coming here, do you lose weight, right? Some heavy drinkers put weight on, but alcoholics will lose weight, okay, because they're malnourished. Mark, you're still meditation. Yeah, no, that's what I'm like, Mark. We're overthinkers, aren't we? We can't just focus on one thing. Alcohol and weight loss. Have lost weight. Okay, you will lose weight if you're alcohol, because alcohol is going to prevent you from eating properly. That's the thing. You won't eat properly, and you'll feel terrible. When they ask you to tape, it's discouraged for dealing with a drink. I imagine asking a smackhead. I agree. Thank you very much, Derek, for that donation. Really appreciate that. It keeps the channel high in the rankings, and we're getting more and more people all the time. We're getting more expertise and a lot more questions coming in, which is good as well. Yeah, so keep an eye on the weight loss. If you're starting to lose weight off your legs especially, that's a big indicator you've got an issue. Another question here. Craig, there's a lot of questions coming. Sober dating. Right, this is a good one. I am in a fantastic relationship, and I met my partner when I was sober. I didn't meet anybody when I was drinking. I had no interest, nobody would speak to me. Women, men, do not like a partner who's drinking all the time, because you're not reliable. I can pick a partner from an airport. It's 7 o'clock in the morning anytime. If I'd had to do that a few years ago, I couldn't have made it. I would have had to send a taxi and make an excuse. So sober dating is another big bonus in life, isn't it? If you want to do that. Some people want to be single, but at least you can go on holiday with the extra money you've got and you feel secure. Yeah, 3 things that improved when I quit alcohol. Well, obviously, your health's the main one, isn't it? I mean, short-term wise, it's your general health. You start to eat again, you start to feel better, you look better, your sleep will get better. And, you know, the longer-term thing is your chance of chronic diseases will, the chance of getting a chronic disease will actually diminish, because your body's repairing itself, see? Your body's repairing itself all the time. So basically, there's a lot of questions. I'll try some small questions. It's really good. If you've got any questions, send me, just drop them in a comment. Or my mobile number's on the lot of description. Just send me on a WhatsApp, you know. This is a good one. Can you have fun without alcohol? Of course you have. I've loads of fun now, a lot more than I did when I was drinking. When I was drinking, I was just drinking alcohol, wasn't I? I don't have any fun at all. Life's full of laughs every day now, and you will never see a happy drunk. I don't think you will anyway. They're always miserable. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that it's brought me up my shell, really. I was always quite confident when I was younger, but I became very, very down when I was drinking too much. Does that make sense? Your blood pressure gets affected. Yeah, my blood pressure was high. Your blood pressure will come down as soon as you stop drinking. Yeah, as soon as you stop drinking. And that's incredibly quick. A lot of people who want blood pressure tablets at my age, I'm the wrong side of 60. Well, I wouldn't say the wrong side of 50. Well, obviously the wrong side of 50. Most of the guys and girls I know who drink have high blood pressure. Is it one day that can be confident and comfortable as you? Well, so, hi Mark. WhatsApp me on the number in the description. I can get you there. So do one-to-one mentoring and support, and it's been really, really good. Very successful, actually. It's more successful than I thought. My blood pressure would go up and down in withdrawal. Yeah, it just varies in withdrawal. Withdrawal is terrible. Alcohol withdrawal is one of the only substances where you can actually die from withdrawal. It's horrendous. Again, thanks for the donations. If you want to help this channel, please hit the super thanks button. It makes a massive difference to what we're doing here and how many times I can get on here and what else I can produce, which is going to be like a newsletter and that sort of thing. And hopefully we'll get together and later in the year, early next year, and maybe get a hall, hire a hall or something. Get hundreds of us, 1,000 would be good, better, wouldn't it? To interact. Wouldn't that be good? And we can all be part of a team again. You know, you can be part of this. Maybe even get to the point where we can, thanks Mark, maybe get to the point where we even, you know, go to government level. I don't know. The sky's the limit of this, isn't it? You know, if you look at it. Let's have more questions here. If you give me a second. Non-alcoholic beers and reviews. Well, that's reviews. Not beer. I think non-alcoholic beers are okay. A lot of people don't. I'm not going to push them because obviously they're not suitable for some people. How much money did you save after quitting alcohol? Right. Well, I was spending upwards of well over £1,000 a month drinking the best bars in the West End of London. Obviously, it's going to be expensive. Yeah. Wasting money on taxis, food, buying drinks for other people, all this sort of thing. And I saved a fortune, an absolute fortune when I stopped drinking. You wouldn't believe it. It was crazy. And it was just a mad, mad world when I was boozing. You know, it's just beyond belief what I spent. I'd be crying if I found out how much I spent. I was going to the Bureau of Insurance, getting £50 out, £100 a time and all that sort of thing, you know what I mean? It was absolute madness. And what I did was I tried to normalise that thing. I'm doing plenty of overtime, I'm making a few quid at work and all that, but really, my wife was going crazy about where was the bank statements and all that kind of, you know, really, really bad. Right, another one here. What's your morning routine without a hangover? When you wake up sober, you have a shower. You brush your teeth properly. You floss your teeth properly. You make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. You have a bit of toast. I have this, what we call granola stuff now. I used to think it was birdseed. Granola with some raspberries and banana. With half a pint of milk. Then I go to the gym. In my car. I park it legally. I don't park in yellow lanes anymore. And I have quite a good morning. Then I plan what I do for the rest of the day. Well, I'm going to see my partner, or well, you know, she's working, or what we're going to do. Maybe call my mother, maybe call my daughter, so I was doing with the baby. Maybe meet a friend for coffee, or just have a coffee on my own. I don't associate with that many people, to be honest. I'm quite a private person. Well, ish. I am now. And I just have a good time. I listen to the news. I go on the internet. I answer some emails and all that sort of thing. That's what I do in my one routine. It's a different world, isn't it? I'm just going to respond to this message here. Right, what's it said? Before and after my face, we've got that one. I've got a lot of questions here. I can't go through them all, but I will do it during the week. How I spend my weekends now I'm alcohol free. It's a bit like the morning routine, isn't it? Your weekends are really relaxing. That's the thing. And you become You get a bit of a routine, really. And I've never had a routine because my life was total chaos when I drank, complete and total chaos. And now I'm at peace. I'm totally at peace. Fitness gains. Do you get fit? Has anybody started the gym since I got sober? Because that has been a big, big thing for me. Be able to go to the gym. And, being able to do that has been fantastic. Steve doing the same here. Especially I'll sleep on my side if I sleep on, yeah. The gym's helped me mentally, physically, the whole lot, made a big, big difference. And I just enjoy my life now. I'm so tired by this time. You're a good person, keep the good work. No problem. I'm doing them all sorts of time, these things. Don't have to be now. This one's quite a bit earlier because it's Sunday. And I'm normally on about midnight. Because a lot of people get lonely, really lonely. And they become more bit... Well, bring the smartens all sorts. I sit my side always because I know it's the best position. Is that because of pain? Because I used to start to sleep on my back when I had this massive hernia, It was very awful. I had this umbilical hernia. It wasn't good. And I just used to feel terrible all the time. Let me just answer this. So, yeah, another question come in there. I'll leave on the questions coming. It's quite a busy thing, this, isn't it? Has anybody got any questions for me on here? Loneliness is a major problem for me. Yeah, that was for me as well, I must admit. Loneliness isn't good. Well, there's another. What happens to your body when you stop drinking? Well, obviously your body will recover. Yeah, hello Stephen. Hi Frank. You should write your book on your life. It's very interesting. Hi Frank. I've done a short e-book. It's in the description. It's only $5.99. You can download that. It's really good. It's a good little handbook apparently. Yeah. What happens to your body? What happens to your body when you stop drinking? Your body gets stronger. Your muscles will repair. If you used to go to the gym when you're younger, you've got something called a muscle memory, and they'll come back. Your muscles will improve, and you get better all the time. Let me think. Sleep quality before and after. What happened when you quit for 30 days? Right, what happens when you quit for 30 days? I've never quit for 30 days. Anybody just done dry January here? Because if you can do dry January, you can do the whole year, can't you? Right, how I handle social events. Social events are difficult without alcohol for the first few months anyway, but they'll get easier with time. And you'll be able to benefit from that as well because you'll be sober and you'll be the only one to remember what's going on. I used to run marathons. Any more here? Right, alcohol, sober dating. I've done that one. How I was doing. Right. Did you ignore priorities or leave them at the last minute? Russell, good question. Definitely ignore priorities. Alcohol became my priority. I didn't get my teeth examined. I didn't go to the doctors with other illnesses in case I was judged and say something happened. And I'll just say here, this is probably not appropriate, but if anybody wants to do a 30-day sober challenge, we can do that, I'll do a week sober challenge. Let me know if you want to, and I'll do it with you from Monday, and keep you informed. About a year sober now. First relapse streams one night in the year. Bottle openers everywhere. Yeah. Well, I used to have a bottle opener in every pocket, everywhere I went, a bottle opener. If as I said before, if you benefit from the channel, please hit the super thanks button, and let's get the channel bigger and better and more focused and more polished even. You need a better microphone. Fitness gains. You gain a lot of fitness. Hello Noah. You gain a lot of fitness. You gain a lot of time, a lot of benefits. People will gravitate towards you, as well. That's a good thing. Alcohol in movies. Right. What the media gets wrong in alcohol. This is a good one. Why drink Guinness Zero? Drink water. There's too much. I can't drink that much water. My partner said that to me the other day when I just drink water. I can't drink all that water. But I get you. I do get what you're saying. What the media gets wrong about alcohol. The media glamorizes alcohol. Over glamorizes it. That's why they've got stars like Beckham and such like promoting, isn't it? It's big business, alcohol. Big business. Is red wine actually healthy? No, it's not. Mark did 8 weeks sober in 2021. I was bored. What can you do instead? Find a hobby. That's what you got to do. Mark, unfortunately, you've got to find something else to do. Something healthy. Start to cook. You know, do something. Red wine isn't actually healthy. I don't believe that nonsense. There's a guy called Huberman, there's a doctor, he'll tell you about that. Have you seen the film Leaving Las Vegas? I have. I thought it was a little bit too much, that actually. But I remember trying to write a check out and I couldn't write it out. No amount of alcohol is good for you. Very, very true. With us, types of people, 1 glass of wine would turn to 10, wouldn't it? Thanks, so eat now, 727. What I learned about parties without drinking. Well, I haven't been to many parties. I wasn't a party person, but if you have been to parties, you'll be sober. You used to be able to speak and remember what you've done. Thanks, Diddy. 2 years next year. That'll be good for him, wouldn't it? And you've done brilliant, Dave. 20 years. Travelling sober. Right, this is so true for me. Travelling sober, all my holidays were on the drink until that's got away a couple of years. Sober on holidays is amazing. You get a good suntan, you eat really well. You're not pissed up somewhere, losing your way back to the hotel or the digs. You know what I mean? You're sober and you feel good, and you feel good about yourself. You have a good rest, and life's sweet as a nut. If you're with a partner, it's fantastic. You can share different experiences and all, you know. Catherine, I haven't drank in 3 days. Longest I went was a month. I thought I was my liver, but thank God it wasn't. Okay, Catherine, you'll get better. Your focus will go a bit. Can't imagine a sober holiday. Well, I couldn't imagine a sober holiday, but it's fucking great. Because you wake up in the morning, you have a bit of breakfast, and you've got the day free. You're not lying in bed sweating your fucking tits off all day, tossing and turning in a bed with a mattress that's just 3 inches thick, thinking, Christ, I want to go home. You want to stay on holiday when you're sober, because you're getting the sunshine, you get all the benefits, you get all the good food. You know, it's fantastic. Alcohol affects your brain over time. It clouds your judgment. That's what alcohol does. And you'll become disoriented, you'll forget things, you'll text people you shouldn't be texting, you'll black out, which is what happened to me, and you become a pain in the fucking arse, basically. That's what happens when you're drinking. Thanks for the donation, again, Dave and Nick, the other night. It all helps the channel. If you want to help out, please hit the super chat button. It makes a massive difference. Yeah, so yeah, the holidays, unreal when you're sober. You know what I'm saying? The holidays become really good, and you'll enjoy your life. And that's, do you have to avoid alcohol in all aspects, no matter? That's my mouth was. No. There's alcohol in the right banana, 0.5. You know what I'm saying? You haven't got to be too purist about this. Basically, keep off the vodka, keep off the booze, and you'll be fine. You can't go into, I can't have cherries because they've got 0.006% alcohol in them. That would be crazy. But I wouldn't be eating tiramisu, I don't like it anyway. Keep off trifles. How often do we eat trifles? Let's be fair. I have trifle every day over breakfast. So you got to use some common sense on that one, I think, regarding the alcohol in mouthwash. I don't swallow mouthwash. Dave, it's not easy, Nick, but it gets better with time. 20 years plus being fantastic news. Congratulations to DT there. 20 years sober is unreal. It's fantastic, isn't it? So every day you're going to learn something. Every day you're sober, you learn something. It'll get better and better, easier and easier. And your life my life would be quite boring now if I drank. Because I'm excited every day when I wake up. And you've got to replace this feeling of alcohol. You've got to be in love with sobriety. Looking for sobriety. That's what it's all about. Love sobriety. When you sort of love sobriety, then your life's going to be fantastic. Trust me on that, because it's amazing when you're sober. You don't get anything from being drunk, do you? You know what I'm saying? So, what do you get from it? Nothing. You just get grief and hassle and more carry on. You know what I mean? Let me just send this to John. Thanks for the message there, John. He's struggling a bit, but we've all struggled at times. If you have a problem with relapse, it's part of the journey, It really is. And you will get over it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. If I can give alcohol, then you can. That's the thing. And it's never too late to stop. Never too late. So thanks, Peter, again for that donation. You've got to think about it. I'm 63 now. I might live till I'm 93. I couldn't have even thought about living another year in 2019. I saw a woman from who treated me in the alcohol care team, and she said, "When 2019, we thought you were going to die." Yeah. Hello, Sean. How are you? I've had the urge a few times, but been on 2 holidays this year, but felt great and didn't want to drink. That's good. Yeah. Don't get the urge, because if you start drinking again, you'll die. It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem, isn't it? And you've got to really be realistic about yourself. You want to live longer, don't you? And you want to be successful in your life. I do. I feel I'm successful now. We've got 63 people on here now. That's my age. Wouldn't it be nice to get 126? Wouldn't it be nice if we got 93? Then that would be my goal. And on a sad note, really, it's 4 years tomorrow since my dad passed away, and he did seem sober, which was good. You know, he did seem sober. You know, thanks for everybody who's contributing on here. It's nice to see people interacting with each other, not just me, because there's 13,500 of us here. You know, I'm one of many, many skilled, professional, affable, able people on here, and we can all help each other, and that's what I'm wanting to do. Sobriety gives everything the alcohol promises. It's true that, Shane. It just gives such a lot back. Sobriety gives a lot back. It's changed my life beyond my wildest dreams. It really has. I mean that most sincerely. I don't remember the comedian who used to say that. I mean that most sincerely for I actually mean it. Noah, thank you very much for that donation. I really appreciate that. It goes a long way. It helps me out so much, and it'll help you out, help us all out in the end. Because if we can stop one person relapsing, one person dying, one person getting sick, one person's being in a wheelchair, it's fantastic. You know, my friend who had 2 strokes last year because of alcohol fell over, broke his hip. It's worth, yeah, for sure. He broke his hip, and he's gonna, I think he's gonna pass away. So he got sepsis after that, you know. And all these other things are linked on to that. And it all started with alcohol. I told him 5 years ago, and I stopped 6 years ago. Stop drinking. He wouldn't stop. Oh, I don't drink as much as you. No, that's another element to this drinking, you know. We think we're not as bad as everybody else, but something's worse. We can have all sorts of issues, mental issues and all that sort of thing, you know. And we have to be aware of that, where we're going with this, you know. What's the Scout saying? Blah. Whatever that means, blah, blah. How are you doing, Scout? Interact, Scouts. If you've got anything to say, whether it's positive or negative, please come along, because everyone's welcome and nobody's going to be judged. I'm not worried about what people say about me. I'm past that. When you've been at the stage you think you're going to die, no matter what anybody says to me, I couldn't give a fuck, to be blunt, as long as I'm here to help you. Catherine, I started drinking a lot when I got fed up with the job. Yeah, I understand that. We've all done that. Certain things will trigger you off and you think, oh, I can't be bothered with that, I'm sick of my life. And your job becomes intolerable, your life becomes intolerable, doesn't it? And you feel dreadful. And this is the thing that people close, someone very close to me has gone through at the moment. The feeling of being trapped by circumstances, job-wise and things. Now, that happened to me. I was married, you see. Most people feel that way. I did. I was terrified of losing my friend. You keep taking the ill, or you're going to be sweating and craving. True, that's good, Scouts. Yeah, there's no alcohol that's any good for you. I'll let the questions come in here. They're it's a much better way to do it. It's much quicker, isn't it? Send me a question. Being excited about your life is a huge help, yeah. Alcohol is not my friend, no. Good point. 3 weeks sober here. Well done, Annie. Keep it going. Thanks, Annie. If you wish to contribute to the channel and hit the super thanks button, just put a small donation if you want. You don't have to. Russell, I always envied people that could drink casually. That's the thing. This is a good point, Russell. We cannot drink casually. We can't drink socially. We're finished. That chapter was closed for me when I was about 25. But I kept opening the door, you see. When the door to social drinking is closed, right? That's it. You can't do it anymore. You've got to realise you can't do it anymore. There's no way back, yeah? You're stuck, and that's it. You know, you're never going to get that back. And don't ever think you will, because you're not. It's just got to say goodbye to that, and then a new chapter's open for you. And that's what happens. That happens with life, isn't it? It's a cycle of life. When you're 40, you can't be frontline military. You can't join the police, you can't down the fire brigade. That's gone. You know, it's like saying, I'm only 5'9", but I want to be 6'3". You can't be, I'm 6'3", but I can't be 5'9". It's an impossible situation. It's impossible for you to go back drinking. You know, that's the problem. You cannot be a social drinker. And so what? Let's be the minority. Let's be the one the pub who walks in tall, well-groomed, showered, fit, confident, with a few quid in your pocket because you're not spending it on booze. If you're a woman, you're going to look attractive. You got some new clothes. If you're a man, you're going to look better, hotter, feeling better. Hello, Dennis. All these benefits you're going to have. You can swan at the boozer. If you want to have a cup of coffee, a glass of water, a Coke, whatever you're going to have, and swan out again. But the chances are, you probably have a partner, and you'd be going for a nice meal, or you'd be at the airport. Yeah? Yeah, I endorse that, DD. Nice one, Annie. Well done. And you've got to be like that. You've got to focus on yourself and think, I'm going to fucking beat this lot. And you get a lot of jealousy from people, you know. Because when you're sober, they want to be sober. They want to be you. They want to be sober like you, and they can't. And they get very jealous. They get very bit arsey with you. That's why they get a bit arsey. It's quite funny, actually. I laugh at them now when they said, oh, here's a preacher. I don't preach, I just say to them, if you don't want to stop drinking, just kill yourself. But it nearly killed me. And that's why I'm very happy-go-lucky. I've always had a very cavalier attitude to life, you know. Even when I was in the police, one of the senior officers said to me, Sergeant, you've got a very cavalier attitude to life. And I said, well, that's just the way I am. And I did very well, because I didn't worry too much about stuff. I worry about myself, my family. But other situations I didn't worry. And if somebody said to me, you're a total fucking tosser for doing this, I'd say, yes, we'll have some good fun with it. I met some fantastic people. And I speak to people from all over the world on here. From Russia, from the States, from Canada, you know, nightclub owners, judges, solicitors, IT experts, bankers, investors, fishermen, ship's captains, lots of different folk, landowners, millionaires, the fucking lot. And if I need any help, I'm sure I'll get in touch with them and I'll get some help with them. Isn't that a fantastic friendship group? And we're all in it together. And if you want this friendship to continue, keep at it. You know, hit the sort of thanks button, keep the channel alive. Let us get bigger and better. And what a fantastic place for knowledge here. If you've got a problem, a legal problem, or you've got an IT problem, or you've got a financial problem, guarantee that somebody on this channel will be able to help you out with some advice. And they won't charge you yet. Probably be free. Because anything police-wise, law-wise, it could help you with it. You know, just give you a move, put you in the right direction anyway. I'm not an expert, but I've got a bit of background in law enforcement. And that's another thing about building like a huge network, isn't it? It's a huge network, this now. Thanks, Mo. You get my point about that, though. If we're all on here, we're all good at something. I've no doubt that somebody knows a painter and decorator near Newcastle that I need. I've no doubt that somebody knows a lawyer in Basingstoke. There's somebody else I need, you know. I remember where you are before I start. I'm truly lost. Well, get in touch with you. The number's in the description. Send me a WhatsApp or something. You know, there's a lot of expertise here, and it's a really good thing. I'm really enjoying doing this, just for an hour a night, just to keep in touch, and to go through any questions. Send me through on comments and also any questions you have that are relevant. Even if they're not relevant, we'll talk about anything. I go to AA meetings after years. Okay. Hello, Catherine. Thank you very much for that donation. Really appreciate it. Where are you at, Catherine? I noticed that's euros. It's not going to drink. It's yeah, evil. You're getting there. If you're drinking 7 or 8 Polish beers, it's not particularly good for you, is it? It's not going to end well, because that might lead on to more, you know. But that's the rest of us on here. What do you think, boys and girls, or men and women, or gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, shall I say? Is 7 or 8 Polish beers too much? I would say yes. That's what did me in, the regularity of alcohol. you know, drinking all the time. That really did my head in. I can go easily a few months not drink, but I'll suddenly hit again. Dublin for, oh, right, okay. That's not good either, is it? You know, you've got to try and get off it and stay off it. That's the key. Staying off it is the key, isn't it? If you can't stay off it, then you snooze, don't you? We need to stay off it for life. And by that I mean forever, you know. But we can't all do that. We will relapse. That's part of the journey, as a lot of us have said, you know, earlier. It's just part of the journey, and it's going to be, even sounds like you're saying the downside of drinking. It's a start. It is, yeah, it is. It's got to be. It's got to be one of those things where you make you know, you got to focus on yourself, and you got to say, I'm going to be sober. This is what I want. This is what I need for myself and to help myself, you know. Then you've got to get put together. Does alcoholism cause erectile dysfunction? It can do, yeah, 100%, yeah. But when you get off the drink, you get fit again, you'll be fine. Well, I was. Maybe I've been lucky. I didn't have any other issues. Just my liver, heart was fine. Everything else was fine. But yeah, it can cause erectile dysfunction. It can cause hair loss. It's linked to a lot of cancers. It can cause high blood pressure. It can cause some heart attacks. Obviously kidney disease, blood disorders, low immune system, neuropathy in the hands and feet. Hello Lisa, how are you doing? It can cause so many issues in your life, and it's linked to so many problems, you know. It's not good. Financial difficulties, domestic difficulties, arrest, drink, drive. You could go on forever. What does sobriety give you? Peace. What do you want in life? Peace, tranquility, and feeling good. My heart never races now. Well, it does sometimes, but you know what I'm saying. Generally, it's fine. It's one of those things where I can lie and just on top of the bed when it's hot and just think, my life's fucking good, you know. 6 years ago, I thought I was going to die. People look at me now in the hospital, some of the nurses that would treat me and say, is that Stephen? Because I go, well, no, in the hospital, I was in there for 2 years, on and off. But I would say 18 months total, on and off, on and off. I was in every few days, you know. You know, trying to recover. Wasn't good. It's poison, Joe. It's total poison. I said before, if you benefit from the channel, please think about hitting the sort of chats button and support the channel. It's growing well. This is getting good. The lives are getting better. There's more interaction, and it could be massive. This we could go global. Why not? But we're global now, really. People from the States on, people from Europe on. Let's get people from the moon. Hi Steve, I've been watching the video. Can't stop binge drinking the weekends. Really need help. Okay, right, Mr. H. There is a link on. If you look at the description of the video, have a look at the link. Beacons, called Beacons. Click the Beacons link. Oh, there's also my number on there, and you can. I'll read my number out if you've got a pen and a bit of paper. Anybody wants it? It's on the description, but 07837 205 361. 07837 205 361. If anybody wants it, I'll shout it out again. I've got a couple more minutes. I don't want to keep you up too late. I know some are at work tomorrow, and people have got kids to get ready and all that sort of thing. Some are a lot younger than me need to make a few shout-outs. Okay, hello. If you've got the number, then WhatsApp me first and we'll have a chat. Thanks, Dee for backing up evil there. Yeah, we can all do it. If Dave DD can do it for 20 years, we can do it. I've done 5.5, and I was at the bottom of the bottle, you know, I was really struggling. Terrible issues. Yeah, there's a lot of people struggling. A lot of people will continue to struggle until the switch is flipped and we realise we can't do it anymore. And when you realise that, you know, you're on to a winner. We've done an hour now. I'm going to say good night because I want people to get some rest. Bit of a late night last night, and we'll resume tomorrow. In the meantime, if you've got any questions, then drop me a line or write them down for tomorrow, and I'll be on about the same time. Should we say 9 o'clock? Is that any good? Let's do 9 o'clock tomorrow. There's been quite a lot of interaction tonight, and ringing wet, yeah, Lisa, you will do. Yeah, you've got to cut down. WhatsApp me. The number's in the description. I'll give you the number again: 07837 205361. Thanks, Catherine. Thanks to everybody that's been on. Thanks very, very much to everybody who's donated through Super Thanks, because it allows me to keep going with this, and I will keep going as strong as I can. If I'm supported, backed, and I love doing it, and I'm here to help you. And I get a lot from this, you know, to be able to help you. Wish you good night. Thanks, Shane, and let's wrap it up for now, and we'll speak tomorrow. Send me any questions you've got. It's very important. If you drink heavily and smoke, you'll knock 20 years off your life, Joe. 100%. 20, 25 years shorter than the general population. Okay, folks, we'll speak to you all soon. And like I say, jot down some questions for tomorrow. I'll see you all at 9 o'clock. Take it easy.